In the beginning, there was me, Dr. Roger Gewald. Welcome to another edition of The Gospel According to Dr. Roger, the program where we give you the unvarnished, absolute truth about what's going on with and behind all of the stories and all of the news today. My guests, as well as I, don't obfuscate, don't gaslight, don't exaggerate, don't underplay what's going on in the world today. We tell you what it's really like, what it's all about, and what the people who are making the news are really all about, and what they're really like as best we can. You don't find that many other places, just on this program. We have some really interesting people. We have some great guests. And today, I'm kind of fixated on the world of television and the subject of free speech. Free speech, of course, as most of you will know, is a big topic of discussion in the UK today because it's being crammed down in so many ways by our relatively new Labour government. They like to have control, and people are actually being put in prison, in jail for tweets and Facebook posts and other things. It's uncanny. It's incredible. Um, there are all sorts of stories of people creating havoc, committing horrible physical, violent crimes, and walking free or getting suspended or light sentences, and people who put up inappropriate tweets or other posts, even those they deleted hours later, getting 2-year plus jail sentences. It's unbelievable. Now, how that's related to the decline in linear or terrestrial, as they call it, television, that means the TV that you turn on and you watch the programs that are on the television that have been preset for you, rather than the major movement today towards digital TV, where people have their own YouTube or Rumble channels, and people watch those at the times they want to watch them. That's certainly what the young people are doing. And in the world of television, it seems that many channels are, because young people are deserting them and are not turning on the television to watch a show at a particular time when it's on, because that's what the TV network set as the schedule. They figure that by putting on very young people, just like the kids who are abandoning television, that will bring them back, which it certainly is not doing. But TV today is full of so many young people, and I'm afraid that so many of them are inexperienced in life, and a lot of what they're talking about. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a good look, and it doesn't seem to be working well. So today, our guest is a friend of mine and a host of mine and a co-host of mine on television, who's been around for years. He's not that old, but he's been around for years. Asher Gould, or Ash, is, I believe, the oldest, longest serving employee of Rupert Murdoch's Talk. He started at Talk Radio, or Talk as it was, about 6 months after it was founded some 30 years ago. And he's the only person who's been there ever since, in all its guises, through the recent Talk TV and now Talk. And he's on a number of popular shows with James Whale and Andre Walker as their co-host. So he's been there and he's seen it all. He's seen everything in TV, and he's been with other channels as well. And we're going to hear from him. Hope, and he's a real character. I mean, he has been described rather unkindly as somebody you might meet on a park bench who actually spent the night there. But he's a great guy. I love him, and he's very, very amusing. Which is why they've kept him around so long, whilst other people have departed or, been defenestrated, as they say here in England, chucked out the window. So we're going to go over to Ash now, Asher Gould, and I hope you enjoy him as much as I and his very large audiences do.
A
So
beautiful day.
I said earlier that some people unkindly say that Ash strikes them as someone who might have spent the evening on a park bench, and I thought I'd find him in a studio or somewhere, but actually here he is in the park looking for a bench. So hello, Ash, how are you?
Yeah, all right, man. I'm all right. I'm just home. Yeah, just home.
Terrific. You found a park bench.
Got my dog.
You
Yeah.
have
How you doing, man?
you got a dog. I didn't know you have a dog.
Well, no, I just found it. They
Oh,
just.
you just found a dog. So okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. You're centered there. So everybody, this is my friend and my guest, Asher Gould, renowned
Morning.
broadcaster, star of talk. And as I
That's right.
say, you are the oldest, longest serving employee of Mr. Murdoch at Talk, almost 30 years, more than 30 years. Is that
That's right.
correct?
Yeah. No, 30 years. Yeah, coming up to 30 years in October. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, man.
Mazel tov. 30 years in
Thanks, man.
October. Yeah, wow. That's
Yeah, man.
fantastic. And all that time you've been a TV personality.
Well, no, again, incorrect. It was radio for
Oh, I'm
20 odd
sorry. I
years.
mean radio TV personality. Of course,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
started as what became talk radio.
Well, no, wrong again, actually. It started as talk radio.
Okay,
And then metamorphosized to Talk Radio UK, Talk Sport, and then there was a split, and they made Talk Sport and Talk Radio.
okay.
So
And then it became Talk TV, and now it's back to Talk and Talk
that
Sport.
is correct. Is the correct answer.
And where is it going? Where is television going these days?
I think it's going more like us. The mainstream media. I mean, we're mainstream media, but we're the only ones really, and there may be another one, but they're a bit strange that tell the truth. The rest are sort of political activists all going with the narrative like you got in the States, exactly the same, And the independent media is where you'll hear the actual news. And I don't even it's not like I'm plugging it, but I see a lot of people I know who were at various places who've been cancelled and now they've either got their own thing or they're on someone else's thing. And you're not regulated by Ofcom, and they're also not political activists. They're telling the truth. And the media, the mass media, the has got in a right mess in this country. It's ruined, isn't it? Ruined, Roger. I mean,
So
it's if you
I,
don't go with the flow, you're cancelled. So everyone in there, and that's the same with every institution in the country, civil service, police, politicians. Luckily, in America, you got Trump in. But how stupid are the Canadians the other day, just to spite because Trump said he's going to make them the 51st state, which is ridiculous, and they cut their nose off to spite their face. They've done themselves in. Turkey's voted for Christmas, and they got that idiot Carney in. It was crap at the Bank of England, wasn't it?
when I interviewed, I'm thinking of taking that clip and sending it viral. When I interviewed Jacob Rees-Mogg,
Yeah.
I don't know how many, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Uh, in the interview, he makes a point of referring to Mark Carney, that failed Canadian politician who's come over here and tried to run our economy. Well, he's not such a failed politician now. He's the ruddy prime minister. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, was he a politician? He was like a Goldman Sachs. Then he did the Bank of Canada, and then he did the Bank of England. He's not even a politician.
I
It's,
know. He's just
it's
he's
like it's like here we got Keir Starmer. He's not a politician. He joined the Labour Party a year before he became an MP. It was just a stepping stone to his next thing. He doesn't care about this country. He cares
abs
about Davos, as he said.
absolutely. And among all of your many, many laurels and achievements, you happen to be related to Starmer's wife, I understand. Is that right?
Not well. No, I mean again, no. But my cousin is her cousin, so
Your
yeah,
cousin
I've
is her
known her
cousin.
all my life from parties and that, simchas, bar mitzvahs, weddings. But yeah, she's my cousin's cousin. So
That must be some kind of relative. I don't know.
no, well, no, it's not blood anyway.
No.
But I feel
So,
sorry for her. Do feel sorry for her. Like, yeah.
yeah, go on.
Well, I don't. She seems to be not very happy. If I don't know anything. I haven't seen her. Since all that. So, but what you see in the
You
papers.
haven't seen her since the latest
No, well,
kerfuffle
you
in the
don't.
press.
Well, no, I haven't seen her since he's become PM. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
but you said she's very nice, nice
yeah, she's
person,
very nice, and she's got a lovely sister as well, Judith. Yeah,
and
so
a
she's a good.
and a
Yeah,
nice father, nice family.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah, television is in one hell of a state.
yeah.
And what's going to happen? Where's it going to go?
Well,
You've got
I
the
don't know.
MSM. Sorry, you've got the MSM. You've got the few independents, none of which is really thriving as they should. Um, and then you've got people, you've got people dropping out of dropping out of linear terrestrial TV to watch digitally, as you've just referred. Uh, and then you've got some of these channels, especially the independents, putting on more and more very young, inexperienced people who don't really, I mean,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was I was I was I was on a show once where somebody referred to the Bay of Pigs and the presenter said the Bay of what? Yeah, I mean it just
yeah,
and
yeah.
so they figure if they put the kids on, then the kids will come back and watch them, but it's not happening.
No, no, it doesn't. I mean, I don't watch normal telly anymore. My Virgin box is just on the floor, not doing anything. I just watch basically, YouTube and a bit of the old Netflix and other things. But for news, yeah, I mean, I don't watch the BBC or
And
ITV anymore at all.
you've got two 75-inch TVs. You're not somebody who doesn't watch
That's
TV.
right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, they came up cheap, but the trouble is having a big telly. You have to do that all the time. Look around. You know what I mean? A small telly, and when you
You need a bigger room.
that's true. It's the room that matters, really, isn't it? It's not the telly because I
Yeah.
mean, it's all the same. I've got a very small telly, and I watch it on there, and I feel just as satisfied when I watch something on there as the big one, really.
So
So,
let's say that Rupert Murdoch
yeah,
called you up today and said, you have been one of my longest, most loyal employees. I want
yeah.
you to run all the TV for News Corporation. What would you do?
Well, I mean, I think he's doing a very good job. No, I mean, what would I do? Well, I'd just keep it like it is, keep it real. You know, I mean, that's the main thing. Not have like they're doing on talk, actually. Telling the truth, not following a sort of political line or being woke. But the thing is it's Ofcom, isn't it? And they want to get involved with online stuff now, Ofcom. So if they do that, that's gonna. I don't know how they're gonna do it if people do it from abroad and stuff like that. But they're trying to curtail freedom of speech, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that next, in the sense that talk has dropped its linear television and is purely digital now. But
Yeah,
because you've got the radio, you're still under the aegis, under the control of Ofcom. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, what about people like, I don't know, Piers Morgan, Dan Wooten, Calvin Robinson, Mark Dolan, Darren Grimes, all these people who had, pretty big standing, and now have their own digital channels and they don't have radio or TV. How in the world I mean, how is Ofcom going to regulate them? The whole reason they set these things up is to get away from
yeah,
Ofcom, especially Darren Grimes, who only set up recently and said that's the predisposing reason he set up.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that happens, I don't know how it's going to work because it's the internet, isn't it? You can always go somewhere else. How are they going to stop someone from America broadcasting? What are they going to block things? You know what I mean? It doesn't, and I watch all those people, Dolan, Wooten, as you said, and yeah, the new guy, what's Darren Grimes? Yeah, I like him, and this is what's going to happen, and TVs and radios, I suppose it's all going to just be online at
Yeah,
some point. I mean, it
Mayor.
just makes sense, doesn't it? Even radio will
Yeah,
just be online and TV will be online. That's probably what Ofcom are worried about because you don't really need the transmission now of
no,
TV and radio signals. So they're
yeah,
thinking, well, we're going to lose control if we don't get control of this. But then
yeah,
that curtails our free speech,
yeah,
all the disinformation, what they call disinformation. Well, they said that about the COVID jabs, but
yeah.
it's coming out now that this is not so good, and that wasn't, and the Chinese thing saying came from a faulty lab, and they were going, oh, that's racist. It wasn't that, and then it turns out it was that. So they're the ones, you know, putting forward all the disinformation and the misinformation.
Yeah.
So you definitely need but that's why they want to do it. They want to stop us. We're living in a sort of authoritarian time, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, Mayor Tusi, Konstantin Kisin, Douglas
Yeah,
Murray, Roger
yeah,
Gewolb. I mean, they all have their own channels,
yeah. And
it's
it's not
not
just
that.
Ofcom; it's the
It,
law as well. You say, look at Alison Pearson, look at all the other. You can say something hardly anything, and you get the police at your door, like the person who said, "Oh, I don't like the new headmaster at this school," or the person that said that person in the
who had
council
the
should resign, and they have the police around. It's like,
who had the six coppers show up. I mean,
yeah,
you would. It's not funny. You would expect a phone call from the local Nick saying, "Would you mind dropping down for a word?" But six,
no,
beefy coppers showing up is incredible.
and yeah, and you look at what they're not doing, with the gangs, all those rape gangs
Yeah,
and stuff, and
yeah,
what they're trying to cover it up and everything, and bringing in blasphemy laws and stuff like that. And it's terrible times we're living in. And JD Vance was correct, wasn't he, in what he
yeah.
said? And we need them to step up more, the Americans, because
How
they seem to
about
be the only ones representing us now.
how about give us a treat? Take off your shades for a minute so we can see your eyes and see who's really
It's
there. We
very,
go.
it's very bright, Roger.
Fantastic. So you wouldn't change anything if Rupert gave you control
No,
tomorrow.
he's doing a great job. No, no, I think what would I change? No, I like it how it's going. I mean, I quite like going on the normal telly, but it's only relevant at the moment. Eventually, that will go. Um, but yeah, and I'd put us back on the weekends and get that going again. But yeah, it's all good.
Are talk going to bring back the weekends?
I don't know. I
Uh,
hope so, but I've
yeah.
no idea. I don't really know about all that, management stuff. They don't
And
tell me.
what about GB News? They seem to, be getting ahead and getting more and more stable in their popularity.
I don't know. I mean, we do. I think we do better on radio and online. We do all right. So I don't know how that's going. I mean, it's gone a bit different there, hasn't it? Since they got rid of all, Dan Wootton and Father Calvin and Dolan, and in fact, you look at the list of people they've got rid of, and they're all really good people who basically weren't going to toe the line, I suppose.
Yeah.
Jacob Rees-Mogg as well. They cut him down a bit, didn't they? And but they were good people they had on, and they still are. Some of them are really good. Patrick's very good.
Yeah.
Christis and Ben
Pa-
Leo and all that. They're good.
Patrick is
But they,
excellent. Yeah.
but they always, they
But
seem to be.
why aren't these alternative stations doing better when they're the only ones telling the truth? And they are they're an absolute
Uh,
necessity.
I don't know how they're doing, but I mean, people say, "Oh, yeah, that's the far right station, and that's the far right this," and people. I don't know if people fall for it. I think I get a lot of response from the public. There's a lot of public watching it, both us and them,
Oh,
and
definitely.
saying they don't watch the BBC anymore or ITV, or Channel 4 because everyone can see what's happening, but they don't seem to care, the authorities and the people, because they're all in their own bubbles, aren't they? They're all in their own institutional woke captured bubbles.
Unfortunately. And so what's going to happen with this government? We've got what, 4 more years, four and a half?
Yeah, I mean, can we last 4 more years, Roger? That's the thing.
What's the
Can it go for?
alternative?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, look at what's happened in Canada. What have they done? I mean, how long's it in Canada? 5 years, like us?
I
I
think it's
mean,
I think it's four, like America. I'm
Is
not
it four?
sure.
You see, they're very jealous of America, aren't they? That's the
Canada,
thing. It's a bit like, yeah, and that's
sure,
why
of
when
course.
Trump said that, that it's a bit like Scotland and England and Wales and England. Like the Welsh, they some of them hate us, the Scottish, some of them hate us, but the English don't. And I think it's I don't know what it is, but that's the same thing that happened in Canada, and that's why they all voted for the wrong person. And it was Trump. Trump should have he should have waited a bit before backing, before saying opening his mouth. Or the other guy in Canada should have said, "Look, keep quiet until after the election."
No, Trump likes to open with, outrageous statements and create a bit of shock and awe. He
Yeah,
he's a reality TV star of many decades, of course, so he knows how to work the room.
yeah, but everyone knew he wasn't going to make Canada the 51st state. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was
of course.
so they just take it as an insult and then vote for the government the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's really
And the
idiotic.
and the American Canal instead of the Panama Canal.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, it was mainly the boomers that voted for him.
Yeah.
That voted because of that. It was them that they don't really care about the future of their country. It turned out they did this survey. They just
Really?
care about, yeah, yeah. And it was really, they said, why did you vote for, Carney? And Trump was up, because of the Trump comments. And do you care about the future of Canada? It was right down the bottom for them.
Wow.
So it was like they've pulled the drawbridge up and, we're the last lot that are going to have any good lives here. But yeah, this government, well, I don't know if the right don't unite, basically, Tories and Reform, and either split the seats so they don't stand against each other, then Starmer will win again. And that's how he won last time, because if Reform and the Tories would have stood in separate seats, they would have actually had a coalition government.
Absolutely. If you remember, I campaigned that the Tories should hand the keys to Nigel a couple of
Yeah,
weeks before the election, or they would be toast.
yeah. But I mean,
Nobody listened.
they're not really the Tory party, are they?
No, nobody listened, but I wanted it on
They never listen
record.
to you, Roger. Why don't they ever listen to you? If they'd have listened, we'd be all right now, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. I mean,
Listen to Roger.
the number of messages I get, why aren't you running the Bank of England? Why aren't you Chancellor? Why aren't you Prime Minister? But I wanted it on record that we had
Yeah.
a chance to save things and nobody took it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the energy that you could be Prime Minister, run the Bank of England, and all those things at once, and
Uh,
still do
th
Zoom interviews.
thank you, and still have time to party.
But how do you think it's going to turn out, man? 4 years of this. I mean, we're taking in sometimes up to 1,000 a day now on the boats, and putting him in hotels that we could never afford to live in every day of our lives.
I don't
Free
know.
eating.
I don't know. It's very much like they were saying about the Democrats in the States that
Yeah.
they also wanted huge swathes of immigration across the southern border because all those people would be Democratic voters, and some pundits were even saying if they get enough of them in, there'll never be another election.
Well, I mean, that's the case, isn't it? I mean, that's why they say Tony Blair let in all the people from abroad because they'll be guaranteed. And it's one way they can guarantee voters. They already said they're going to want to lower the vote to 16-year-olds and they want to give it to foreign nationals and stuff like this. I mean, it's obvious why they're doing it. They're trying to fix it. I mean, they're
Yeah,
totally anti-democratic, and they
totally.
don't they don't give a toss about this country. They just give a toss about their next 5 or 10 years and filling their boots and then getting out of Dodge City and moving somewhere else. So
Yep,
they're not representing us or anything. They're just filling their boots. So
that's
this is
right.
what we've got, and this is what we're suffering from.
Absolutely.
They don't actually care about us or the
Okay.
country.
So, look, any final words, any final pieces of wisdom you'd
Well,
like to leave us with?
I'm still positive because I don't think we'll let this happen. This country can't fail like this, but it does seem like, you know, is it irreversible, Roger? And hopefully we can reverse the situation here and turn it around. We're all optimistic, aren't we? I
Sure.
suppose.
Have to be.
You got to be, man. But you see, you're American. You can always just nip back if it gets really bad here. I'll be stuck.
I'm British too, so
Yeah, but
yeah. I can nip
yeah,
back. Yeah, good.
yeah, man.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank
Ash.
you, Bubba.
You've been a great guest as always,
Thanks,
and
man. You've
look
been a good
forward to seeing
host.
you soon.
No nibbles, though.
No nibbles. No, next time we'll have
No,
some
I
nibbles.
do
Yeah.
like nibbles. Yeah.